sorry for the wait, but appreciate the patience. There's a lot going on as far as sports, life, Trump, politics, all that stuff. We ain't gonna get into all that. But it's good to be back, fellas. How y'all doing?
When we said I'm back, yo, hold this for the first week. Word. Crazy. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, we gotta like start this off like R.I.P. to the passengers that plane crash.
For sure.
You feel me? For sure. We absolutely have to start off with that. You know, prayers up to the family members of everybody who like lost somebody.
Praise to a lot of people nowadays because it's this year didn't really start off too well than everybody was expecting. 2025 was supposed to be, you know, a new fresh start for a lot of people, but unfortunately, this year started off with a lot of like weather situations, natural casualties, and you know, the fires and all that stuff. People still are looking to find a way to get better homes again, and you know, trying to get fundraisers and donations, so whatever everybody can do to help. You know, I know Red Cross and all that stuff. I don't know if there's a link around here somewhere that you might put that, you know, that can point you in the right direction to assist all the people in need.
Yeah, for sure. You know, shout out to everybody, bro. Shout out to everybody in the world. It's definitely like, you know, I be going back home to Jamaica sometimes, and I be talking to people from there versus people who just like come to visit all the time. And it's just like New York, you feel me? Like it could be so like you get dazzled by the lights in Times Square and all the buildings and everything like that, but it could be like equally as depressing for as much as it's like a spectacle for certain people. It could be equally as depressing for certain people just because of the parameters that we live by. Like, you feel me? It's hard to live. You feel me? With everything going on, like cost of living is crazy. It seems like there's always something. There's always something going on in the world or whatever. So it's like you definitely gotta wake up every day with gratitude. You feel me? Every day is a gift, and you know, just take it one step at a time. Don't take this life shit too seriously, because you walk out the door, something's gonna happen, man. For real. You don't know if you're gonna make it back home safe every day, so definitely like count your blessings for real and live your life.
It's a big fact. You know, everybody, I just hope that it's easier said than done, but just make sure you keep a level head and keep your sanity close to you as possible.
For sure. I didn't get the orange memo today, but you feel me? Is the Knicks doing good?
I was not playing.
Not at all.
That's funny though, cause I didn't peep it.
I got it a little bit, but you feel me?
Yeah, you got some blue and orange in there. So, but yeah, man, my Knicks. I guess let's get to NBA real quick. Our Knicks. Ish.
You know,
it's like,
shout out to JB and Cat making the All-Star team. You feel me? I seen that.
Two Knicks as starters. That's I
big.
don't know if that's been done before, and if it has, it's been a very long time.
Well deserved.
Very well deserved. You know, they Jalen Brunson averaging like 26 points, and assists. Like 5-6 rebounds or something like that. It's not bad at all.
No.
Cat having an MVP season, and that's, mind you, that's Jalen Brunson's numbers, him taking a step back.
He worked from last year. Yeah,
exactly. So you got to take that into consideration, because their offense, as you spoke on earlier, that there's running through Cat. So the fact that Brunson can still get those numbers while the offense is running through another person, very impressive.
He can actually really play the point now without being the number one scoring option. But you know, I just love this team. I love the chemistry. I love they seem like they all really enjoy playing with each other, and just good vibes, and they all have that same mission. And the fact is, like, they're getting their numbers, but they still third in the East. So it's well deserved for all that.
It's not paying us yet.
That's why I put the Trader Joe shit on the floor. It's like that.
Nah, paying this shit, bro. Shout out to Buddha.
For sure.
Sponsored by Buddha Safe.
Yeah. All my Kawhi shit, oh, they ain't paid me.
Besides like the viewership, I do feel like skill-wise, talent-wise, NBA is in a good space. You know, like as far as like the top three teams on each side of the East and West. You know, very impressive. We got the Cavs in first, the Celtics still in second. The Knicks are moving closer to the Celtics actually in third. They're only one game away when they was about 4 games away in the last week, but we're on a 5-game win streak right now. So as a Celtics fan, how do you see your team right now? Which I don't do.
I mean, like we spoke about a couple weeks ago. It's still, I mean, it's February by the time people are seeing this, but it's still very much mad early in the season. Like I'm so happy for teams like Cleveland. I'm so happy for teams like Houston and all of that, whatever. But you gotta see that. You gotta see me in the playoffs, respectfully.
Yeah.
And now I have the chip, and not the chip on my shoulder no more. You feel me? Like it's like see me in a 7-game series 4 times. You can't. For teams to go through the stretch of that, and then. Even everybody like knocking us last year, saying that we had the easiest playoff journey or whatever. It's whatever. I look at the teams that we clapped in the past. You feel me? We clapped Brooklyn in the first round with KD and Kyrie. So it's like, bro, I'm not worried about the Celtics at all. You feel me? I like that the Knicks is so close. I like that it's heat in the East because it feels minus what we were talking about the reffing. All the politics around the A, it feels like 90s basketball again. You feel me? Like I feel like people are like really playing. It's just like a lot of politics in the league right now. You feel me? Trade deadline is next week, so everybody playing their hearts out right now and shit. But you know, I love the Celtics, bro. We definitely have some disappointing losses or whatever. That happens.
Yeah, to be honest, y'all not that bad at all. I mean, obviously, y'all second in the East for a reason. You know, y'all 5th in points per game, 9th in rebounds per game, 16th in assists per game, and 5th on opponent points. You know, as far as the Knicks, we're 4th in points, 23rd in rebounds, which can change once Mr. Robson comes back healthy.
Sure.
10th in assists and 8th in opponents' points per game.
Yeah, but speaking of Mitch Robinson, though, like I said, trade deadline coming up next week, and I've been hearing some things. You feel me? So
for sure, the idea I feel like we was trying to at least get him on the floor so that way to show some display of him. That way, you know, like to get his stock up a little bit. We still technically can, but it's not much we can really show.
He's the only tradable asset.
Enchantment, I guess. You know, not asset, more like I guess something that we can trade. Yeah. But to be honest, I don't know. I'm very. How should I say? As far as the Knicks, I don't really feel like we're gonna make any moves. I feel like the Knicks and the Celtics are gonna probably be 2 teams that don't really make any moves in the trade deadline. If we do, it's not gonna be that significant. You know, I'm actually looking towards like other teams, especially towards the West, that's actually gonna make more moves in the trade deadline. I feel like,
absolutely.
Yeah. But
Because also what no one's talking about too is that, yo, if I was Luka, I'd be tight. You just cost me $100 million.
115
minimum. Like I can't get the 340 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You just cost me $100 million. Man. I'd be tight.
I mean, of course, that's why Stephen A was going absolutely insane. Shout out to Stephen A. That's where he was going crazy with how he was just like, yo, do you understand the chip on Luka's shoulder right now? Like, you just cost me. I said, I don't give a damn like how much you did for me in the past. Anybody cost me $115 million minimum, and then overnight without even giving me like a reason.
And I just bought a house.
Yeah, I'm like, oh nah, yeah, oh yeah.
That's why like the business of this shit. the business of this shit is astonishing to me because imagine like that's why I feel like first of all I don't ever remember a trade deadline like this ever in sports.
Most controversial for sure.
This is crazy.
This is the
Like,
most controversial one ever.
And I think AD and De'Aaron Fox have the best out of all of it.
OD.
Like, I
Did you
think-
see
And usually like that's it. You see like one or two big names or whatever, and then that's it for trade deadline. You
Those
feel me?
two?
You saw that game last night? The
What?
Spurs?
Nah.
Nah,
They
they
look
Fox, he looked real good.
With Wemby young.
First half, he was 8 for 12.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he had
Who they
8.
played? They
Of course he
played. They
did.
played Atlanta. They won by 1.
Yeah.
Good.
But which is crazy because they was up by 23 in the third quarter, and then they had that run in the fourth quarter, almost lost, but it's still a good look for the Spurs
And
because
Yep.
they was cooking them most of the game.
And how I look at, I guess the Lakers more in the future. I think the Aaron Fox trade with Wemby is a future move. The next
Sure.
5-6 years.
Sure.
Like,
I mean,
you keep
he's
talking about
27,
OKC,
right?
yeah, but you keep talking about OKC and people talking about like young squad. Like now you got Wemby, who's a baby with the Aaron Fox and that coaching. And if Chris Paul is just there as
But
leadership,
that's why it's like even with Luka, with Mark Williams now.
that's fire. With LeBron, like LeBron has always elevated players. He's gonna elevate Luka to a different level.
He's going to elevate Mark Williams. Luka don't need to be elevated, but he just needs to stay in shape. He got to elevate Mark Williams.
But what to keep an eye on is if LeBron waives a no trade clause in the summer. Not now. He might just be on some. You know what?
He probably just trying to see how it looks.
For sure. If they can't build around.
I'm not gonna lie though. If I was Dalton Connect, I'd be like, damn, why don't you trade Bronny? Like,
I feel you, but
like if you're trying to win,
It's
you
part of
feel
the
me?
package, bro.
yeah, you can't.
I know.
Can't do
I
it.
know.
And also, that's a good point because LeBron bounced leaving his son there.
Right, that's
Like,
what I'm
nah,
saying. This shit
that's
is
a whole
fucked
other
up. You
thing,
talk
yeah.
about Luka buying a house and shit like that. Imagine like bro, you just drafted me and said I was like one of the future pieces like 6 months ago.
For sure.
You feel me? Like
For sure.
that's kind of crazy,
You
yeah.
keep Julian?
I mean, I love
He's not even getting minutes.
I love Cleveland's squad as it is. I really do. But seeing LeBron go back though, to go win another one, would be
LeBron is
fire.
still good enough to make up for both of them.
For sure.
I'm not gonna lie. Because if he was just like an average
He's not.
40-year-old NBA player how we used to see it, then I doubt they would even bother to have Bronny there. But the fact that he's that good, it's like,
Yeah.
you make up for
Yeah,
it.
I mean LeBron's so great. You can still tell, obviously because of his age, but he turns it on when he want to turn it on. He's still
All
one of
the
the
time.
best players. So,
All the time. He might be a little winded after,
but that's why having someone like Luka is perfect. He just going, I run and do whatever. I play off the ball. LeBron's gonna play off the ball.
Yeah, playing off the ball for LeBron is going to be deadly because that's going to give him more energy and more time to analyze the field.
And you have
Court.
And you have two great fourth quarter players now, like him and Kyrie. You do though, because now pick your poison in the fourth quarter needs to get you buckets. Like guard LeBron and guard Luka, that's gonna be a tough.
But then you got guard Kyrie or guard AD.
That's tough too. I think right now is they win the
With
next 2
Clay on the
years,
side ready to shoot.
bruh. I think Dallas.
And they talking about KD going to the Mavs now because the Mavs been dying for that Kyrie, AD, and KD.
That squad would be a problem.
Nah, yeah, that's unbeatable with Clay.
But
nah.
that they will be number one automatic.
Because Phoenix has
they got depth. So.
Because Phoenix has a problem that his contract's up after this year.
KD?
Yeah, so they don't know if he's
I'm
gonna
not gonna
resign.
lie. I would give up Golfers. I would keep Lively.
Okay, I'm
I
mad
would.
at that.
Yeah, for KD, you gotta give up a lot. I'll get PJ.
You might have to give up
Washington.
Clay too to go play.
Nah, I'll keep Clay. I'll take. I'll give him PJ Washington.
I don't think KD's their future with Phoenix. I don't know.
No, they're not because they said it yesterday that they're listening to offers for KD right now, especially after that whole Lucas situation.
Well,
all the executives.
So if y'all KD, right, and you just heard,
they was just trying to send him to Warriors.
I know. So if you, that's what I'm asking. If y'all KD right now, right, and you just heard like, I didn't ask for no trade, like I'm chilling, like whatever. Even though he was open to going to Miami, which is crazy. But like, if you know you try to trade me, I'm gonna stay here though.
Yeah.
He might be on some. All right, cool. Say less.
If I was him, I'd go to the Mavs. I mean, they would be stupid to send him to the Mavs because after that, you like the West is done. I do think
at
that point.
I do think the Mavs are a sleeper in the West now. They can contend with. Nah, but
they
now
can't be a sleeper. They went to the finals last year.
As a sleeper though.
But
As a sleeper.
But they can't be a sleeper this year.
I still think they are because
It's like-
Yeah,
Last
I mean,
year,
you can say that because Luka's been injured since December.
yeah.
Kyrie hasn't, like, I'm not gonna say Kyrie hasn't been Kyrie, but certain, like, the consistency.
They
I
match.
get that, but then they was even saying that even when Luka and Kyrie were both injured, they were saying it was like, yo, Mavs like don't sleep on them because that's that one team. Like as soon as they get back to recovery, they're like that because they was cooking when they always healthy.
Yeah, they're deep, and you feel me. Their players can suffice for their stars missing.
Also,
but it just
AD
hasn't translated yet.
Yeah, also, AD looks refreshed. He looks like he's happy to be out of LA a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And also, his homie is Kyrie. I think what's really happening is like they really sleeping on how nice Kyrie is for the fact that they're just not even taking into consideration. I'm like, nah, him playing with AD with that squad, and now Kyrie's gonna run a squad.
That's actually gonna be perfect because I'm not gonna lie. Anytime it's a guard and a center like together,
We see with the
that
Knicks.
combination just works wonders.
It's a recipe for success.
For sure, for sure. And now I do think Dallas can contend with OKC now. With AD there?
Oh, easily. Yeah, they got three.
Oh, yeah,
They have three centers, bro. That's what I'm saying. It can't be a sleeper. You have three centers. A lot of teams don't even have.
Which, to your point,
centers.
with the three centers, and now Anthony's happy that I can play my full position.
Right.
So they're a big ass team.
It helps
bro.
with Denver.
I was about to say that we seen it happen with Denver. Denver was a big ass team when they
I
won.
mean, Aaron Gordon was a great pickup for Denver.
I think the smallest person they had was Jamal Murray. Everybody was 6'6" and up.
You heard like they was knocking Aaron Gordon when he was on Orlando. As soon as he went to Denver, he excelled. Like this is all you want from me, like to do this and just he balled out.
You know what I'm saying? Even Kyrie's the smallest one on the Mavs. Everybody else after that is 6'6" and up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
No,
it's
I
like they're a
think-
big ass team.
I think Dallas.
I don't think they could be a sleeper because I feel like people just they're not watching them, but they got them in their peripheral vision. It's like
Health's the only.
You know
The
what I
reason
mean?
why I say sleeper is only based on health with Kyrie and Anthony Davis. But other than that, though, as far as matchup wise, they're a problem. They're a problem. But AD really just changes things for them, I think. And now, mind you, there is a difference of playing for LA and playing for Dallas as far as pressure,
Oh, for sure.
right? So not all players want that. So AD can be like, oh, I can go ball out here, and it's not the same as coming to to play for LA with LeBron. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
And I think that's what he wants. You feel me? I don't think he wants like everything that come with it. Homie just want to hoop.
Yep, for sure. He just wants to hoop. And also, I'll tell you this, I get traded to Dallas, and I don't got to pay no fucking state tax. That also makes me a little happy.
Yeah, that's another.
Like, I'm a little happier today.
That's exactly why he waived this $6 million bonus.
Oh, okay.
Cause you get a bonus every time you get traded.
Sweet, good.
Man, that $6 million was for his trade bonus, but he waived it to help the team, get something else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, of course you can do that now. You ain't getting no taxes.
And also,
Right?
I think JJ Redick's doing a good job. But if I go get to play for Jason Kidd,
Fantastic.
that
job.
changes things too.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
want to
know.
go put
I don't know. I understand Jason Kidd is a better player, but as far as coaching wise,
Jason Kidd's a fire coach. He
he is. But I said I don't know that yet because this is JJ Redick's first year. He's already doing phenomenal.
I'm not
Kid
comparing.
already had a couple of years. You know what I mean, I gotta see if he could. If JJ could do this like 3 years consistently.
Well, Luka gave him.
And you could say the same. Sorry, to cut you off.
No,
Because as a coach, like we know Jason Kidd as a player, but as a coach, we gotta see him in action because both of them hasn't. As far as like accolades go, I mean JJ Redick is his first year, right? But still, we gotta see how that translates on the court. Like the Lakers are doing.
Yeah, what they 5th right now?
They're
Right fighting
fifth.
for the 4th.
They're fifth. You feel me?
I mean,
Compared
that's
to like last
impressive.
year.
That's impressive.
So on
Very
paper, they're
impressive.
doing mad good. So
But how long has Kidd been the head coach for Dallas? 2-3 years.
something like that.
Yeah.
And he brought him to the finals already.
He brought him to the finals, but you feel
And
me?
he's a
You
good
gotta-
player coach. I think it's good situations for both. And the best thing happened to Luka trade for LA gives JJ more job security.
Right.
Because like we're gonna give you time to play with
The thing
Luka.
about Dallas though, They was more there was more, and it still is more of a complete team than Lakers is.
Lakers haven't been a complete team for a while.
I know that's what I
Yeah,
mean.
you're right.
So it's like Kid had more to work with. He had offense, defense, height, skill, talent, athleticism.
But that doesn't
You
mean
didn't get all that in the league.
But sometimes it doesn't mean you can bring it all together though.
True, that's true.
Because how many people said, "Oh, Kyrie and Luka ain't gonna work" as soon as Kyrie got traded?
That's true,
Yeah.
but the thing is, JJ Redick already proved that I can do more with less. Darvin Ham had the same exact roster. And
Fair
he's already
enough.
doing better.
Well,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
To your
Right.
point, Kenny Atkinson.
Mm-hmm.
They want him off Phoenix, and he's the best coach in the league right now
Mm-hmm.
with less.
Yeah.
Right, and he was nice in Brooklyn. He got them to the second round with just a bunch of good role players. And when KD and Kyrie went there, like, nah, we want him gone.
That's why I'm
So-
excited to see about JJ, because I can't really say too early.
It's
I
too early.
love Kid.
It's too
I
early.
love Kid. I love how he coaches too. But JJ has impressed me. With the little bit of time that he had with the same roster,
I agree.
with the same shit, he's doing way better than Darvin Ham has done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the only thing that Darvin Ham can say is that he won the in-game tournament. Who cares about that?
Yeah.
For
You
sure.
know, but
For sure.
as far as that goes, if he's doing this with the little bit that he has, let's see what he can do with just as much as Kid will have.
But just to
Right.
say though,
I mean,
getting a co-sign from LeBron speaks volumes. So
Yeah,
LeBron having
for sure.
support for JJ gives that a bit.
because I believe that just like Kid, JJ has one of the best IQs.
I agree.
You know.
And also, he's a good culture setter as far as tone. Like, I'm holding everyone accountable.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like Kid is a little more chill. JJ, he's more in your face and like he has that like I guess bravado of him.
Yeah.
Kid is kind of like you know who I am.
Yeah.
But also different team, though. You can't be pulling that off with certain veterans in Dallas. Like, the Lakers are a young squad other than LeBron.
Yeah.
So it's different. But I love it for both. I just think Dallas is set up for success if they can stay healthy.
Yeah.
For a deep run.
But that's why we're not even gonna see the best version of them until
I think
close to playoffs really.
the next season.
Because Lively is still injured, and Lively is the best center right now. You know what I mean? And I know I can just imagine how that would look. 'Cause I'm already seeing the starting lineup. It's gonna be Kyrie, Clay, PJ Washington, Anthony Davis, and Lively. That's a crazy start.
With depth.
With depth.
Yeah.
With that. You got two other centers.
But who did OKC just pick up? They just picked up another player recently. I forgot. But that just was
So?
OKC. They just
They
made
picked
him
up another one?
Yeah, like
Why?
another big
Why?
man.
They don't
Because
need
they want
nobody.
depth. They want to
They don't
win.
need nobody. They already got two.
Son.
They two of the best centers there. Like, give up a center. Yeah.
I'm telling you, they just made him
Well,
more.
I ain't even gonna lie. The man's gotta get one of us. Because for real. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what OKC picked up.
Let me see.
Yeah, I didn't even know about the OKC one. That's new to me. I didn't even think they was even going to be part of the trade deadline. They're like the Celtics. They don't really need anything.
But teams who just want to get over the
They're
hump.
just being greedy. That's all.
Nah, don't do that. They're
Nah,
just
I
trying
mean,
to
They want assets. You know, they want assets.
Yeah, everybody's trading up, so you might as well be a part of the.
And Chet Holmgren is coming off. He's gonna play Friday. Mind you, they've been balling without Chet.
Yeah, that's
That's all.
They've been number one without Shaq.
That's wild.
And he's the second best on the team. That's crazy.
But if I'm Houston or Memphis, I'm tight. The AD's in the West now.
That's like seeing a Bull be number one while Scottie Pippen was injured for a while. And then Scottie Pippen come back. Like,
For sure.
I'm hating on the West because for so long I just wanted the East to be like really good again.
And we
I
were
feel like
getting
we've been really good
Yep.
and we're really them.
Yep.
And now they just all of this shit.
yeah, the power shifted again.
Yeah, power really shifted though because the Lakers look mad. The Lakers are already number 5, so now they look extra scary.
I can't wait.
This Mavs team, I see them going back to the finals easy.
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck
yeah.
about OKC because the fact that they veterans over there,
Yep.
they got tenure, is gonna
Yep.
translate on the court.
And not even just that. The Mavs be having OKC number.
Yeah,
People be saying sometimes it's not about you being the best team. It's just about bad matchups.
And bad matchups. I also do think, to your point, regardless of whatever the LA's roster looks like, it's a tough out. No one wants to see them.
Cause that's why I always bring up back when Melo was on the Knicks and when LeBron was on Miami. Clearly Miami was the better team, but the Knicks always had Miami number. Majority of the time we was beating them.
to the playoffs, though.
Yeah, of course.
But I agree with you. Because they were up for it when they were like, "Are we playing Miami? We gonna ball with them now."
Right.
They wanted that.
We would beat them about 20.
And listen,
Right.
take my New York bias out because obviously I want to Knicks in the finals, but I would not be mad about seeing Boston and Dallas again in the finals with the new Dallas roster.
Yeah.
I would love to see that because I want Kyrie to get a second. Like I want Kyrie to get a second.
I don't want to. No offense, I don't want to see Celtics in the final. It's not even just to be the Knicks. I just don't want to see the Celtics again. I want to make it interesting. So, if anything, maybe the Bucks. I think that would be pretty dope.
True.
To see Giannis and Dame.
I want Dame to get it.
Dame in the finals would be nuts.
I think that would be a little better. Dame and Kyrie on the finals. Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be
that would be more
It's
interesting.
gonna be like Cavs Warriors.
For sure.
Caliber, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
But I would like to see Dallas beat Boston in the finals though, with Kyrie and AD. That's why. Like I watch
That's
it.
all right. I mean, if it's the Celtics, I'd rather see the Lakers if that's the case with Luka there.
Yeah. Which I feel like we're getting pegged to see.
Well,
We're definitely getting pegged
You got-
to see that rivalry again, especially with Bron exiting. Like it's like the way I'm looking at this whole trade deadline. This shit is really a business, bro. This shit is not about athletes no more. This shit is like about what's gonna get us views,
for sure.
what's gonna get us clout, and all of that. What's gonna get
I'm not
people
gonna
talking.
lie. I know that the front office of the Lakers, even though as much as they still care for LeBron, and like obviously he's still LeBron. Like just lost a slight step, but barely. So it's like
At almost 40, which is wild.
it's crazy. Still putting the numbers he put up. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're not like at least a little excited to see the amount of salary cap they would have once he's gone.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
Any team.
Like
Sure.
between him and Bronny leaving, oh my
We were
god.
talking about that because like even with a player like KD you could plug and play anywhere, but Brown you have to build around him for the style of play that he has.
Similar to Luka.
And he comes around. He comes with that baggage. You feel me?
Yep.
Like so, of course, like getting rid of Brown is gonna alleviate you on so many different levels.
But to your point about views and it's a business, because now like if the NBA is complaining and saying like, oh, our views are down, it's like okay, fine. We have two historic franchises with Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, who are going to be superstars for the next 5 to 10 years because they're young, and now you got Luka in LA, so you expect at least a few times they're gonna play each other in the finals. That's great business.
Yeah, I mean, even when he talked about it, he was like, "Yo, this Laker move was an NBA business move." Because now, like the viewership is about to go skyrocket.
Luka, the biggest international player, so
And
watch.
and now in the most biggest franchise in NBA and not one sports.
And I love what Giannis said. Giannis is like, yo, man, I just want to see all the international players go play for big market teams. I want to see Jokic in New York, like.
Jokic in the Knicks was crazy when he said that.
But I think
don't get me hot.
but I think Giannis.
They can't do that. Instead of any other big market than New York. You already took away Melo. You already tried to take away Melo's legacy in Denver. If Jokic goes to New York, that's the biggest crock of shit I've ever seen.
Watch Giannis be the next one. Watch him go play with Luka in LA.
Giannis should be the type to go.
Giannis in the West. Oh my
Giannis in
God.
the West is a problem.
Giannis gotta stay in the East.
But I think he keeps alluding to it each year. Like he's unhappy, then they get Dame, and they're like, we need to make moves. They trade Chris Middleton. I think it's getting to the point where Giannis will be like, all right,
He only wants to go to a big name though, and Lakers is already unless he goes to the Lakers.
But who do you pair up best with Luka? Giannis. Giannis want to play in a big market, and I have a superstar. They're both superstars. They ain't no Batman Robin with those two.
Or it could be Brunson.
You trading JB to the Lakers.
No, I'm talking about Giannis going to come to New York.
Giannis coming to New York.
They've been saying that forever. Huge Greek culture
He has
in New
been
York.
saying that too. Yeah, been saying
Who you gonna
he
give
wants
up?
to go to a big name.
But who you gonna give up in New York?
I'm Cat.
You giving up Cat for Giannis?
I'll take that.
Yeah. In a
I'm
heartbeat.
Russian. What are you talking about?
Sorry. So no disrespect to Cat.
It's not disrespect to Cat. I would take Giannis
He's
over
having
Cat.
an MVP caliber season, but what you
You
talking about? Like,
You don't think Giannis and Cat can play together?
It's not that. It's that we're not gonna have the catch for this.
And I would give up our wings.
Nigga, we ain't gonna have a team after that. We ain't gonna have a team. We barely got
You
any
can't
depth.
give up Cat straight up for Giannis. You still gotta give
Of
those.
course, we can
Yeah,
get
you
that.
gotta give him nothing, but that would be the biggest
That was the
asset.
big thing. We have a bunch of second round picks. We give them like two or three second rounds with Cat.
For sure.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not.
And then keep the rest of the team.
Well, I don't like. I mean, I say that, but I don't want to give up OG for nothing.
You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have to give them.
You wouldn't have to, and then
Yeah,
I think
Cat.
that's a strong backcourt with Giannis and OG.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
That can happen easily.
You can get a serviceable
Like,
set.
sorry, the cat mom. I know. Hey, listen.
Hey, but we seen it. You feel me? Like he's balling right now. Like end of the season. You feel me? If depending on what the Knicks do, if you make a play for Giannis, I ain't mad at it.
Nah,
You got a full
Play.
season.
You know, cat used to small markets. He be on it.
That's alright.
Nah, let Cat live, bro. Nah, let Cat
Nah,
live.
of course.
You gotta see how he plays in the play.
He's in the
That's
starting
true.
five for
That's
a
true.
reason. You know what I mean?
But you know what? Maybe the Knicks will, the basketball gods, be lucky, and maybe Giannis will just come on over with our roster. And keep Cat and Giannis.
The only way that would happen is like if we keep on building up our salary cap for the next 2 years.
We're good. We're good into the books. Jalen taking that.
I think we got a first round pick coming up. So
I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be the Knicks.
Okay.
I think Giannis is trying to go play for a big market team. It's just
yeah,
the
that's what I'm
opposite.
saying. But then what's the big three? The big three biggest markets: L.A., Boston, New York.
Golden State, I would consider a big market team at this
Oh
point.
yeah, nowadays.
You could argue Miami as well.
True.
And Chicago.
Nah, not no more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, on paper,
On
but
paper.
the legacy. But Chicago, I mean, since D Rose, like we can't.
I
really
would
talk
say
about
Detroit too. Forget that they've been asked for a really long time, but Detroit's a big market team, you know.
it. I agree with Quest as far as like you ever been to Detroit? Like
Have I been to Detroit?
yeah,
No, I've never been to Detroit.
it literally is like one of those towns where it's like it's the infrastructure matters. So shit like the Lions having like Ford Field. I don't know the stadium where the Pistons play at, but like when they have a game, the culture there, you feel me? So I agree that they are like a big market, but not like not like on the Knicks caliber.
No,
But
no one
usually
is.
when they say well LA is, but usually when they say like big market, that's more of like at least for NBA. There's more national televised games. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the time the small market you don't really get on national TV.
True.
And that's why people don't be knowing certain superstars.
For sure, and that depends how good you are. But OKC's been great, and they still don't know how nice their squad is.
Because even when Giannis, that's a small market in Milwaukee.
For sure.
He still wasn't on TV until he got a chip. You know what I mean? So I was just like, a lot of people didn't know about.
I agree.
Giannis.
I agree
You
with you.
just heard things about.
Same with Dame in Portland until you saw him ball out in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I also do equate, and I could be wrong, but I do equate like inner city like culture equating to big markets too, where ball like connects with that as well. So like I think in Detroit, I think there's certain things where I'm like, yo, you got the right players.
Because Kyle Cunningham is elite, but a lot of people don't know who that is.
They squad's
A
not
lot of
there
people
yet.
don't know.
I agree with you.
You know?
I agree with you.
So it's like that's still technically considered a small market in a way because they don't really get televised.
But it's funny the reverse of it now, right? Before years ago, they was like, oh, no one wants to play for big markets. Small markets is where it at. Like it's always going to be big markets. Just now it's kind of reversing again. You know what I mean? LA got Luka, they got LeBron, but Boston's stacked for however long. The Knicks are nice now, so now it's like they want that for the ratings and just like I mean. The NBA is always going to be good when Boston's good, LA's good, the Knicks are good. Like it's always just going to be good. Like you want to see Boston, the Knicks in the playoff series. Like you want to see LA play. Like I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think the NBA right now is like upside down a bit as far as players feel like I got player empowerment, but teams are doing what's best for them. But then there's the politics behind the scenes. I think it's kind of like the Wild Wild West right now.
It's because of sports, bro. Honestly, it's because like look how popular the L is getting with more of these. We used to only get those international games like every now and then, but the amount of international games that were played like in London this season or Australia or whatever, the fact that the Mexico, the NFL is getting streamed on Netflix a little bit now. You feel me? Like the fact that they played on They played on Christmas Day.
taken away from the NBA.
You feel me? It's like
It's
the
just
NBA
wild. It's always been separate.
It's always been separate, but the
Yeah.
NBA is scrambling right now. You
For
feel
sure.
me? Just trying to get everything together and all of that. So,
Well, I mean, this, like to your point, it's Super Bowl week, and the NBA trade news is just taking over. You forgot the Super Bowl's ended.
yeah.
Like you forgot they playing in a few days.
Yeah.
But with all the NBA news, like, wait, there's a Super Bowl happening?
Obviously, we didn't get to link up last week and shit like that, so we could talk about, you know, just how this NFL season ended and, you know, what to look forward to in the Super Bowl.
I would say for me, I want to give a shout out to the Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniel. He did the most that he could possibly do. He wasn't going to. Unfortunately, his team was nothing compared to Philly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can argue that, you know, him and Jalen Hurts could have had a battle, but as far as every other position, Philly just beat them in everything else between receivers, running backs, O-line, the
Philly
defense.
stacks. They've been stacked for the last few years.
Yeah, so that wasn't going to be something that they was going to win. But shout out to Fidel for taking them that far anyways in the first place. You know, they were never even supposed to get there, kind of like how the Mavs was last year. Nobody expected the Mavs to go to the finals, but they did. You know, so you got to give credit to where credit's due. And, you know, another team that I feel bad for is also the Lions. Dan Campbell, he showed a lot of emotion during that interview, and you can tell that he really cares for that team and the players and all that. They was the only other team that was 15-1, you know, besides the Chiefs and all that shit, with the ridiculous amount of injuries that they had.
Yeah.
You know, we could have been having a whole different conversation if they didn't have 13 injuries.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like they had 17, 18 injuries in the start of the year, and they ended up with 13, and they still made it to the playoffs. So, you gotta tip their hat to them, man, because they did so much with so little. You know, it just kind of just got away from them towards the end, and it's not gonna be just like you said earlier. Nothing is promised in the L. It's not gonna be the same next year for them. They just lost their O-line coordinator and their D-line. Shout out to Aaron Glenn, you know, for the Jets, the defensive coordinator. You know, just lost your O-line as well too, coordinator.
Yep.
So the Lions are gonna be looking a little shaky next year. You know. And the Ravens. You know?
Man, that was so, bro. That took the life out of me seeing that last play in that game, and it's like the Ravens and the Bills, bro. Both those games sucked the life out of me. Real talk. I ain't gonna hold you.
That drop was tough. I mean, that was a tough catch. It's that fumble though.
Yeah.
That fumble though. I know, but that. If you didn't have that fumble, you didn't need the 2 points. That fumble, I think, hurt more. I just think people are stressing on that.
The fumble hurt.
I think
was bad.
They stressing on last play of the game. You need to make this catch. You know, I feel bad. I mean, I'm not mad at homie for not talking to the press and the media. That's gonna be a tough situation to want to deal with. You probably can't even go pump gas or anything in the neighborhood. You gotta leave for a while.
I mean,
Public enemy.
That's what I was saying to Disney the other time. Like, I hear you. I understand. Like, some people can't handle stress or hardship and stuff like that differently. But I get it. You know, he's the face. You know, Lamar Jackson. You gotta talk to the people. Back in the day, if you're part of the team, you gotta talk.
I agree.
I don't want to hear it because at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson, you had 2 turnovers. You probably had just as much of an impact on that loss as much as Mark Andrews.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But he had to face the public. You know what I mean? And he had to talk to the people. So it's like if you're captain, your leader has to show face. You got to do it too.
I agree. I mean, you're a professional. That's what you get paid for, to stand up and you know, you can't just talk when things are going well. You got to talk when things go bad. But I also just always like to consider the human element of it too. You know, because you're right. Lamar had to go up and be like, "Yo, I played bad." I get it. It's, you know, it's tough.
He could have made all the excuses too. He could have.
He didn't have to talk. I don't think he needed. I think it was okay with him not talking right after the game, but come talk to the media like a few days later.
Yeah, that was crazy because you basically were denying him crazy to the point that people were looking for you. You know
you just basically went and hiding now.
Yeah, that's what makes it look bad. If you don't want to talk in the moment, fine. But a day or two later, come on now.
And it also puts pressure on the rest of your teammates
Exactly,
to talk
because
for you.
that's what I was saying. I was like, now Lamar Jackson has to speak up for you.
Because now
they're asking where Mark Andrews.
Yeah, and every other player they're gonna ask about the game, like, well, how come you didn't talk? How you gonna? So yeah, I mean, you just gotta stand up, do your 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, bro, that's it. And then if you finish that conversation right then and there, you do your 10, 15 minutes, interview. You ain't gotta talk to nobody again. I said what I said.
And you don't even need to say much. Like, I should have made that catch, that fumble.
Yeah, I fucked up.
I let the team down.
You say the generic.
Nah, it was an honest drop. You feel me? Like it happens. It's tough. It hurt, but it's an honest drop. So you do have to take that accountability. Like I seen that when I was young, and I seen people bash Larry Fitzgerald for years for the drop that he did when he was on the Cardinals. But you got to take that. You got to eat that as a man. You feel me? So pause. You feel me? But it's just tough to see, man, because you wanted that. I wanted that for Lamar, and then even the following week, seeing the Bills fall to the Chiefs and everything like that. It's like, all right, bro, it happens.
I'm sick of the refs, though.
Yo, for real.
It just seems like I'm happy for Kansas City, though.
Yeah.
But respect to Lamar too for driving, getting him to that last play. I mean, they could
Oh man, because he could have. There was 3 minutes left on the clock. He could have just thrown the game at that point, but he played it right to the last minute, and they did what they could.
He got it where they needed to be.
For sure. That's why I was like, I'm not mad at the two mistakes that he did in the first half because he made up for it. You know what I mean?
He rolled out the second half.
That's what I said. It's different if you did terrible the first half, and then you didn't do nothing to make it better the second half. But no, you made up for your mistakes, and you had the opportunity. That's why people are looking at Mark Andrews more because yes, Lamar had the 2 interceptions, but he made up for it. He got us to an opportunity that the opportunity literally just fell out of their hands.
It's fucked up because Mark Andrews hasn't had drops in a few years. It just happens.
Got choked up, unfortunately. And then it could have been a play of the weather as well. It was snowing crazy. A lot of
timing of the moment, falling backwards on the move.
Like maybe your hands was wet. I don't know from the snow. I don't know.
And then that's the thing, because then as fans, you look at them like you're a professional. You're supposed to make that catch, but you can't be 100% all the time. It just happens.
It happens, bro. It's like if he made the catch, greatest player in the world. He dropped this.
Hero of the game,
For sure. But I guess that's why they say it's like you can't be a prisoner of the moment. You have to, when that moment presents itself, you have to take it. It's like, I don't give a damn, that's how people say it in the A. I don't give a damn if you had 35, 40 points, but if you don't make that last 3 for everybody to win, everybody's gonna look at you crazy.
Especially missed free throws.
Yeah, so it's like, they can talk about how flawless your game was, but if you don't do it when it matters, that's when people's gonna judge you.
Well, it also works the other way around. You could have no buckets all game, but you have the game winning 3.
It's like,
all right, cool.
With Jason Tatum. There's been plenty of games where he had horrible first halves. Horrible first half. All of a sudden, he just switched up and went crazy because it matters when it matters.
Yeah, bro.
Like, nobody give a damn about what you did in the first half.
No.
It's all about the second half.
Yeah. And also, they're humans, they're not machines, right? So you gotta always keep the human element. But yeah, it's tough.
But then that's what everybody say too is like they don't want to hear excuses because you're out here just like everybody else. Everybody has pressure. You're not the only one that has pressure.
And some people thrive in it, but some people don't.
Yeah, so it's like there's no excuse. Just like how people try to use excuses with the snow and the weather. Everybody's out here. We're all out here.
It's all cold.
The only thing you can say about is Buffalo. They have a slight more advantage because they're used to playing because that's literally their hometown.
They practice and do it.
Yeah, but
so I get what you're saying. They're used to the elements. I mean, that's a valid point. Like if you get drafted and you play for a team that's not indoor, not warm weather, you're more conditioned for the playoffs. Like there is a difference.
There is a slight difference. Just like when people say it's like it's a different plane in Denver because of the altitude.
Yeah.
It's like you breathe different up there. It's like they can't run back and forth as much as they do. So that's why when players do go to Denver, they do a little extra exercise practices before they play. Yeah. You gotta get yourself right for it.
Yeah, the same thing on running too, man. The elements, I gotta run out outside in any weather, no matter if it's like 10 degrees, rain and snow, sleet, I gotta be prepared for race day.
Well, I want to ask you that since you were an athlete yourself, conditioning wise, do your running, I guess, stance, whatever, change when it's like a certain element outside? Like,
Oh, for sure. I'm from Jamaica, so it's like I run naturally. I see a lot of people struggle in the summertime with their breathing and everything. That's where I thrive. Whereas like in the winter, a lot of people who I know from up here or they grew up upstate New York or whatever, man, I got a race in mid-March. I hate running that shit every year because I gotta run over the George Washington Bridge into Manhattan, and I got wind coming from both sides in the middle of March, and I hate that shit. But I see people breezing over that shit because they grew up in the elements over there. I can't take that shit. My bones.
you know, I get you. I'm pretty sure mentally it probably affects you. I just kind of meant like, you know how like, for example, a ball player going against Wendy, you got your natural shot all the time, but you're probably not used to shooting over somebody so tall. So you have to adjust your jump shot. You adjust your running, like how you run, like whether like do you like step on your heels a little bit more to get more, if it's like mad snow on the floor, if it's like wet, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you train for all of that. You train on all terrain. You train. That's why I have to go out. Like it don't matter if like a day like today, it's raining outside. I just feel like laying up with my shorty all day. I gotta go outside. You feel me? Because what if it's raining on race day? And I have to your point, I gotta like train my foot to react a certain way on the ground, my heel strike and everything like that. For the most part, I run on the balls of my feet. That's where I'm gonna get the most power off and a push off or whatever. Like if you run on your heels, you're gonna injure your shin after a while. But like I definitely adjust all the time and try to train like for hills for dips and cracks in the road. You feel me? Like I gotta be able to react to anything.
Is it how should I say, like is it a natural reaction that you subconsciously adjust, or you have to like kind of remind yourself like, all right, it's raining today, let me run like this, or is it like just something that you just do now?
Now it's like it's more natural. That's a good question, bro. Now it's more natural 'cause I've been doing it a while, but before it was I had to get there. I had to like snap in that mode because I'm not even in the mood to run all the time until I get out there. You feel me? So. And now it's like, you know, it's on go. It's like what we doing. And I can just like react to anything. Even like people around me. Like for the most part, like I was a loner with my training. When I started doing marathons, and I just like to train exclusively alone. But now I see the benefit in training with people because I'm running with, especially like something like the New York City Marathon. I'm running with 50,000 other people. So I gotta feel all that energy around me and like swerve around people all the time and everything like that. So. Sure.
I knew you for 4 years now. I knew you since 2021.
Yeah, for sure.
So how do you feel about your running journey right now? Like as far as like from when I met you to all the marathons you've been doing, all the half marathons, and you know your training and everything. Like, is the passion still there from when I first met you? Has it declined? Has it progressed?
That's another good question. Like I feel like the love, like the core love of it is always there. Like I want to do it. I just like life has definitely been presenting itself more. And like I see like the hurdle in having to balance everything right now. With everything that we're trying to build, with everything I'm trying to do in my personal life, it's definitely been a struggle just to like work out. You feel me? That's all I really want to do. I just want to be a big ass kid and just be like running outside like all day. But I can't do it all the time and everything like that. So it's been a struggle, but the love is still there for sure. I took off from marathons like last year. I did 3 halves last year, but I didn't do a full. And I got 2 fulls on my schedule this year, plus I think 3-4 halves. So it's like it's been a struggle to like get back there. I've been sick. I've been having like mad stomach issues for like the last like 2 weeks to like a month. So it's been hard just to be in the gym consistently. But you know, like I said, as long as the love is there and the passion is there, like I want it a lot more than a lot of these like running is so it's now it's different because there's so many influences in this shit right now. It's popping since the pandemic. So a lot of people, I wouldn't say they shouldn't even be running, but they don't have the love for it. You feel me? They just wanna get views, and we seeing a lot of that in the running community right now. You feel me? It's been tough. I see a lot of people who want to get into races, not being able to get into races because they giving spots to the influencers now.
Oh, shit.
Crazy vibes. You feel me? But the love is there, and that's what matters to me. You feel me? I'm excited to be running New York City Marathon this year, you know, in November. And, you know, whatever's to come out of the year, you know, I think it's going to be my best year yet as long as I put in the effort, the solid effort.
Sure.
Shout out to Disney, man. That's an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah.
Doing a marathon, yeah. What's your conditioning going to, like, knowing you're going to run something like that? Like, do you start a regimen? Like, do you ease into it slowly? Like, how do you know, like, all right, how can I obviously get a great time, but also just complete it? So it's like, what's your thought process? Because there's a difference of like, I'm saying you just, like you said, you love what you're doing, you're conditioned to it. Like, you can't not go the rest of your life without running, right?
Yeah.
There's a difference of like, yo, I'm gonna go run a quick mile. As like, yo, I'm gonna go do like a marathon. So like, what's your thought process of getting into that, and like the conditioning and the program, and how much time does it take you to get to the point where you feel like, all right, I can do this now?
Yeah, bro. It's a lifestyle change for sure. Like I have no problem at all like cutting out smoking or diminishing the drinking. Like I haven't drank since like New Year's for real.
Okay.
I haven't smoked since I haven't smoked for like a month. You feel me? So it's just getting my body back to that base level training. Now I'm running like to just get my base up. I've been running like 6.5 miles like minimum every day type shit or whatever.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, bro, for real. Like a typical marathon training block is 16 weeks. So New York City Marathon is in November. I'm starting to train like beginning of June.
Okay.
You feel me? So, and I gotta call it. Like I know, like I'm doing it towards. I already knew I was doing a marathon towards the end of next year, so I'm going into this year knowing that, yo, summer's over. You feel me? Like I'm gonna still have my fun, like here and there, whatever. I'm still link up with the bros every now and then, but my summer, I'm locked the fucking.
For sure.
You feel me? So it's a whole lifestyle change, and I just gotta communicate that to the people around me, and then to myself. More importantly, I gotta eat right. I gotta make sure that I'm sleeping right. I'm giving time to myself. I'm mentally there, because I did it twice. Where like I ran a marathon. My first 2 marathons were in Chicago and in New York in 2023.
Okay.
And both of them, I collapsed at mile 18 because of myself. Like I can't blame nobody but myself, because I was working a full-time job, trying to start a business and training for a marathon at the same time. So I was on my feet a lot. So it's like now I gotta go into it different. Like, all right, what do I change this time to get the results that I want? I ran great times. I ran both those marathons in 4.5 hours, but I had to stop. So now I want a better time.
Is there an avenue, a lane of, if you just want to be, I don't even know if they're professional marathon runners, but if you get like sponsors and endorsers, then you can just, they'll pay for like your lifestyle, so you can just focus on that. Is that like a
for sure. Right now, like I'm on the cusp of that shit. You feel me? Like people throw me clothes all the time. I'm with First Form. I can say it now. I'm with First Form as far as supplements go.
Congratulations.
So they throw me my supplements and everything like that. So that definitely like eases me financially.
Okay.
And everything like that. But I'm far from like where I was like running track in high school, where it's like we'll pay for you to go to school and shit like that. You feel me? Like now I gotta work a little bit harder, because I was a sprinter before.
Okay.
Now I'm a marathon runner, so like I gotta fit in that space. And like as great as I've done so far, I haven't done like enough to deserve. There's people who, I'm 160 pounds. I know people who like $180 who ran a marathon in 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Shit.
So it's like I got a long way to go.
Okay.
You know, and I'm willing to put the work in.
For sure. Do you have any tips or any input or guidance of if someone's cardio is trash and then trying to get to like a good way of like how to ease into it, how to build your cardio in any aspect. Not even, not everyone can do on the level you're doing as far as marathons, but just to like say for example, people have ran before or they used to run or have good cardio, they don't. Like what would you say the best advice is to how to ease into it and build it up and kind of get it back to normal or somewhat,
But I mean, go into it with the mindset that it's a marathon, not a sprint, for real.
Yeah.
Don't make a marathon be your first race. If you're trying to get into that shit is like 26 miles is no joke. I ain't gonna hold you. And just, get off the couch and like run. You feel me? Like just start. Like starting is like literally the best thing you could do, and it's mind over matter at that point. A lot of people don't feel like they can run a mile until they realize how short a mile is. You feel me? It's literally, a mile is 4 laps around the track.
Yep.
So like get out, walk around, see if you can walk that 4 laps, and then just pick up the pace. Let's go. Pick up the pace like slowly but surely at your own pace. Don't worry about the people around you. You feel me? Like
I wanted to ask you something. As human beings, it's already hard on us. But being also an athlete brings more challenges for your life. I know before it probably didn't affect you as much because life was different. But in the time that we are in now, our own individualized, our own little issues and problems and all that stuff, trying to stay locked in with the passion that you have and then having to stop, certain things like smoking and drinking that people would use for advice or temporary, an escape to get away from things. Does it make it a little harder for you now that everything that's going on with life and with life's work, just being a husband, all of that shit, does it bring its challenges to you when you aren't able to do those things, as far as if you had a bad day at work or whatever, or something, you can just go home, have a little glass of wine with your wife, or smoke up real quick to just take the edge off? Does it make it a little challenge for you now as an athlete and as a person?
I mean, that's honestly a question for the room, bro. It's not just for me. I feel like we all at a stage in life right now where we can't do the things that we used to. It's a transitional stage where we gotta really gotta forward think in how we spending our time. You feel me? So as much as I wanna just take a shot after a hard day of work or whatever, I gotta think about my body and if I gotta work out that next day or whatever, and if my body's gonna be dehydrated, I gotta think about, even if I smoke up at the end of the day. I know me, personally, I smoke to relax and shit like that. So if I smoke up before bed, I'm hitting that snooze button the next morning, guaranteed. And I know that about myself, so I just choose not to partake. You feel me? It's easy for me to flip that switch. But it's to answer your question, yeah, bro, it's tough because life is life, and we adults right now, and the more I go deeper into this shit, it's man, it's just every day, time, money, over and over again. And I think the priority is just taking that time for myself. As much as I use smoking to just relax, running is my therapy. That's my outlet. I get out there and I do those 6 miles in the morning, and nobody can piss me off for the rest of the day because I got my mindfulness time. I worked towards something, I completed it, and in that journey, it's yo, I'm talking to myself. It's yo, you're the illest nigga alive. You feel me? It's therapy for me.
I feel when it comes to writing, being an artist, that's my therapy. But just like how you say, there are days that you don't feel like running, and that can be your escape. So when there are days when you don't feel like running, or I don't feel like writing, what is your escape?
Thank God for talents, man. Thank God for being multidisciplinary, because that's really the answer to it. Like I have running, I got 4. Yeah, like I'm lucky enough to have 4. I have running, I have music, I have photography, and I have, what else do I do? Cooking. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everybody does need a multiple outlet of escapes, not just, you know, like supplements and stuff like that. So because that's only temporary things. At the end of the day, like you said, there are going to be times where you don't feel like doing something. Maybe I don't feel like cooking today, but my other outlet is writing. Maybe I don't feel like writing today, my other outlet is gaming or taking walks.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like reflecting on life. That's what I love. I used to walk everywhere all the time as a kid, and that's something that I always go back to, you know. And I like walking without having a destination. Just go. Yeah, and it feels good to just do that sometimes. It's a source of freedom to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an individual, I think case by case, but yeah, I mean, what's always worked for me is multiple creative outlets. That's when I feel the most whole, and like also therapy of doing all these things to help. And even when you talk about the negative vices and trying to replace it with positive ones, you have to be self-aware. Like some people can be a social drinker, have 1-2 drinks, and it doesn't affect their mood, but it's just like, what is your reasoning behind it? Like it's also just doing that internal work of like, well, if I've always been self-medicating as a kid, it's like, well, you got to break that cycle and figure out how to replace those things with healthy things like working out, writing, reading, doing things. And as far as the creative stuff, like it's tricky, right? Because you feel like, oh, I want to be inspired, making a dish, I want to write a new song. So it's sometimes like I'm not inspired, sometimes you got to work through that, but you also can't burn yourself out, right? So it's replacing all those healthy things. I mean, I'm right now getting back into working out and lifting again. I'm in a good rhythm, but I remember when I really got off of drugs and all that shit, I really got into like really lifting and eating right, and I was like, oh, this is a good like healthy release. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like there would be some days like I'll just have a really good session and like to your point, you start seeing I'm lifting more, I see the difference and all this. Sometimes emotionally I have a really good release out of nowhere. Not even being sad or anything, I just feel like a flood of emotion just coming out like in a healthy way, as opposed to like, all right, I'm gonna go drink, I'm gonna do this, and it's just negative. So you gotta like be self-aware of like, oh, if I do these things, does that affect me negatively as a human? Does that affect my behavior negatively? How do I course correct and fix that, right? Because through all these things, that's how you can sabotage relationships, you can sabotage your job, you can sabotage your money. If you don't recognize like, all right, this can be a problem, this can't be a problem, so how do I replace bad habits with good habits, you know? And just seeing what works for you, and yeah, but to your point, with the chefing and the writing and creating and even the exercise and like doing those multiple things helps alleviate a lot of the inner stuff that people are conflicted with, that they have to deal with. It's different levels of it, but everyone goes through it, right? So, but to your point, you know, a lot of people are easy to just go into their vices, like, I'll just drink, I'll just do this, and numb yourself, and then actually distract yourself from the other stuff.
You gotta face it at a certain point.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't.
I feel like that's why we keep having those conversations about artists and athletes, how kind of each other's worlds are similar in a way. That's why we always kind of stay connected. Because I feel like being an artist and an athlete is one of the hardest things to do in life, because other jobs, even like being a doctor and all that, you go to school for it, you learn as much as you can, but you go to work, you clock in, you clock out, you do your job. But as far as athletes and artists, we're just depending on ourselves. You know what I mean? Like we have to believe in ourselves. As a doctor, you don't need anybody to believe in you. You just have to go do your schoolwork and get your diplomas and degrees and stuff. But athletes and artists, we're only as good as we can possibly be.
So self-discipline is a real thing, and people who master that or really have that self-discipline, you see the results in it. And it's hard because if you can't hold yourself accountable to certain levels, then it really comes from here first to do that. So yeah, you have to be extremely disciplined to be a great athlete, even as an artist. Like people have this misconception of like, oh yeah, I'm an artist, I tour, I do this. Like, oh yeah, it equates to I can do drugs and fuck mad women or get fucked up all the time. It's like, nah, like the real successful ones, they treat that shit like to your point, what you're saying, the evolution of what it is, most successful artists are working out all the time to have their condition and be in their right space of mind to do that. So it is It is. I mean, we can talk about something as simple as food, bro. Like people use food as advice, eating unhealthy, eating things they shouldn't be eating. So, you know, I think life is really about balance. I think it's harder for a lot of people. I think it's harder for other people and easier for some. But yeah, it comes from within. I mean, I struggle with self-discipline. I've noticed with myself, like when I'm locked in, I'm on with anything, I'm obsessive and I'm just moving. So like if I get disconnected or I lose interest in something, it's hard for me to get it back. But it's balance.
I just want to say too, I'm not saying,
Yeah.
I am not saying that artists and athletes are better than doctors. All I'm saying.
I know what I'm saying.
No, I'm just saying.
I didn't get
like
that.
it.
I'm just saying that to the public. All I'm saying is just that artists and athletes, we just have to bet on ourselves more than
Sure.
other,
Sure.
you know, jobs.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
I agree.
for sure. And you said something interesting earlier. Just avoiding the burnout, and no matter what, with anything you want to do in life, is putting yourself first. Like I think right now, I'm experiencing, and I go through this all the time. You feel me? I'm experiencing a bit of a burnout right now. I'm stretching myself way too thin, and it always gets to that point where it's like, damn, man, I get up looking at the wall, like you feel like you live in the same day over and over and over again, and you have
Into
to.
the next. Yeah.
You just have to put yourself first and like do whatever fulfills you. So for me, you know, thank God, having those outlets. You feel me? So like whatever, just discover, like to anybody out there, you feel me? Just discover like what you love out of life, what fulfills you, and do that shit. Even if it don't pay you right now, or even if you don't make money off of it ever in life, do it. You love it.
It's still a necessity if it's going to help you balance and just bring that joy so you can be a better version of yourself. You know?
There was a quote. I heard this a while ago too, but I haven't heard it in such a long time. So when it hit me, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a really good quote." I wanted to tell Disney mainly because it was just like definitely more on your side. I was like, when they say if any job costs you your mental, it's too expensive.
Yeah,
That's real.
That's real for real.
That's real, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, when I heard that, soon I thought you. I was like, "Ooh, yeah, you gotta hear that one.
That's
You
real.
gotta hear that one."
Dog, listen, man. Like my nigga, it's been so hard to like. We could go on a tangent, bro, but it's been mentally hard to like go into work for the past like year and a half. I've been working there for real. Like I wanted to quit after 3 months, literally. But I'm here a year and 8 months later because of the realities of life, and I just have to suck it up and deal with it while also trying to build the life I want. And it's tough and it's draining, but I look at every day as a gift. For real, like no matter how hard life gets, I have to look at every day as a gift because I'm blessed to be here. So, I'm blessed to be here, and I'm blessed to want better. You feel me? So, I gotta dip in a few. You feel me? I want to talk about I actually gotta dip like right now. But you feel me? We having a therapy session right now, so we can get into Quest to Call Lawrence coming out soon, man. I want to say congratulations for real. Congratulations on Scattered Rain.
Appreciate it.
That's
done that without
phenomenal.
y'all.
That's a phenomenal project, bro. It's like sonically sounds really good. What you was saying on it sounds really good. I ain't gonna lie, people thought like I was going through something when I played it. I played it on the loudspeakers in the club, and it was like, "Yo, you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bro, it's my man's." You feel me? Like this is new shit. It's about to come out and everything like that. But like collectively, I played both projects in the club 3 times, like a piece, and people fuck with it. I fuck with it heavy. Y'all got Commotion coming out next week, and then Quest to Call Lawrence on February 12th. So, I just want to say congratulations, man.
Appreciate that, bro. Really, it's much love. Again, you always in every step of the process each way, so it was a collective effort. I appreciate it. So it's love, man.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said yesterday, I sent it to both of y'all. Y'all both gave me, y'all opinions on it, and I've heard opinions myself. Nobody said anything about no dislikes. They like both of them, especially Quest to Call Lawrence.
I'm kind of leaning towards that too.
Sonically sound, it's beautiful. made sure to put a little extra work on that.
Let them know where they can find you too. So it's Quest_Lawrence.
Quest_Lawrence, and it's all linked, so that's where you'll find me. And then obviously Quest Lawrence on B2R5, but yeah, that's where it is. Find it.
You're on TikTok,
IG, YouTube, all that. It's all linked. And I'm in the process of right now of just building it all up and just archived everything and just starting from scratch.
For sure.
So.
Alright, so sounds good. So Quest Scatterbrain out now. Quest Carl Lawrence will be out February 12th, and we have a single in between you and me. Louis Sage, Quest Lawrence, called Commotions. Look out for the collab songs on Scatterbrain as well too. We got a book smart with the one and only Dizzy Reed, at least that we know, and Quest Lawrence. Then we got some other collabs with him as well. Dizzy Quest, phenomenal, on Quest Carl Lawrence and the Law of Sage. So
Buddha himself.
Yeah, but
and also I just want to shout out Dizzy Vision for the album cover. That shit hit.
Yeah.
I feel like the album cover is harder than the project, right?
For sure. Anything that has to do with the art, pictures, videos,
all
this
this
guy right here.
All this.
Love. Appreciate y'all, man. Like, artists only as good as the subject, so you feel me? I couldn't do this without you.
For sure.
Yeah,
But I felt like you really did a great job just bringing it to life. Same thing with the music, so.
Appreciate that. This is we got more to come, guys. Next episode we'll talk more about the extra content that we got coming. But for now, just stay tuned with us and CBS, WTI.
Whatever this is.